Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about love and respect. For those of you that are new, buckle your seatbelt because it's about to get passionate up in here. For those of you that have been here and subscribed to my channel, you know how passionate I am with marriage, and so thank you for continuously loving my videos and commenting and everything like that. So I'm just going to talk about love and respect, and I hope you guys enjoy. So to first talk about, so first, before I forget, there's this book called Love and Respect. I have not read it yet, but my husband has, and he's learned a lot from this book, like a lot. And he told me to get this book. I got it for $3 at Goodwill, so it's pretty cheap, and it has a lot of good stuff in it. I know a lot of people say, like, no, we don't have problems with love and respect and blah, blah, blah. But you're never going to be 100% perfect in loving and respecting your spouse. And so if a problem does arise, it would be beneficial for you to already have this book and just be able to work through things and ask yourself, like, am I respecting him? Am I loving her? And vice versa. So I think this would be really cool to have. And if you do want to get it, there's a link at the bottom to get this book. So, or you can find it at a Goodwill. I don't know. But anyway, so first I want to talk to the guys because I know the women will watch this entire video and the guys probably won't, so I will address them first. So guys, this might be the most radical thing you've ever heard in your life, but love is an action. It's an action word. And if we want to start with the Bible all throughout the book talks about love with an action that follows. If we talk about one that everyone knows, God so loved the world that he gave his only son. So by giving, he showed that he loved. And so you can't just say, I love you, period, that's it, never going to do anything, just going to chill and hang out, and that's basically going to be my life for the rest of eternity or whatever. But you cannot do that. If you are married, you have to show them that you love them every single day. And it's going to be difficult, I'm sure, at first. I know it's not like, oh, boom, I know how to do it all of a sudden. Me and my husband have had to work through this for about a year now because at first he didn't understand how to show love. He just didn't understand. And I'm sure that's like a guy problem. They don't understand how to show love because the world suppresses love for men. And loving your wife is not girly. It's not like, don't be a guy that thinks he's all tough and doesn't have to be a husband man or, whatever guys think. Like, you need to show your wife that you love her. Because there's this cycle that talks about in the book. It's the crazy cycle, I think it's called. And what happens is if a husband doesn't love his wife, the wife doesn't respect the husband. And same for wives. If the wife doesn't respect her husband, the husband isn't going to love the wife. And if you're not showing your wife love, she's going to grow bitter. She's going to think, why doesn't he show me that he loves me? Why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing that? And in this book, there was an example of a woman. She was telling a story about she didn't feel loved. And so because she didn't feel loved, she was like, okay, I'm going to, let me go to the thing it says. Okay, so I'm going to belittle his abilities, undermine his decisions, be unfriendly, and be disinterested in physical intimacy. And she thought that if she did that to him, that he would be like, oh, something's wrong with my wife. I need to fix this, or I need to do something, I need to whatever. But that's not the case with love and respect. Because he wasn't showing her respect, she was like, well, then I'm not going to show him love. And it led to the husband at the very end didn't even want to have sex with her because he was like, she's not even respecting me. Like, what the heck? So men, it doesn't start with you, but you do have a role in this. You do have to show your wife that you love her by doing different things. And it could be as simple as on my refrigerator, my husband, before he leaves, he always puts, I love you, Brittany. Always. And sometimes he doesn't, but it's still up there. Or he every single time I get into the car, he opens up the door for me. There's not been one time where he doesn't open the door for me. And it just shows me like my husband cares and loves for me. But there's still some things that he struggles with in that area, but it's just kind of growing with each other and understanding how to love them that is going to be so beneficial to your marriage. And husbands, like, you're going to have a great marriage if you can just show your wife that you love her by doing different things for her. So that's a little bit about the men. Now the women. Women, you have to respect your husbands. Have to. What I've learned over the years is that men are very sensitive. Very, very, very sensitive. And you can't tell that a man is sensitive because they don't cry, they don't do anything like that creates sensitivity. And the first time I heard this, I was like, my husband's not sensitive, but he really is. And I found this out because about a week after I learned men are sensitive, this occurrence happened where I was like, whoa. And basically what happened is, and I can't remember the full story, but my husband messed up somehow. He had done something wrong and something happened. And first, I could have said, I told you not to do that, or obviously you shouldn't do that, and blah, blah, blah. But that would be disrespectful. And I had just learned not to do that, and so I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm not going to say, you shouldn't have done that. I told you not to do that. And I know a lot of women do that. And so first you definitely don't do that because they're already like probably thinking I screwed up. And for you to tell them on top of that, like you screwed up, they're going to think even worse about that situation. So I had just learned that they were sensitive and I had just learned not to say stuff like that, not to like, belittle their feelings. And so I didn't say that. And he had told me the situation, and I was like, I'm so sorry, it's going to be okay, like, no big deal, blah, 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 whatever. Well, like, 3 or 4 days later, totally wasn't even thinking about that situation anymore, didn't even matter to me, and my husband was just, like, kind of sad, or he, like, looked a little bit different, and you know how you can tell when you're married, they're just like, there's something a little bit off. And so I asked him, I was like, what's going on, like, you just seem like you're really stressed and, you know, what's going on? And he was like, I'm still thinking about the situation from like 3 days ago, that he was still beating himself up for that. And can you imagine if I would have been disrespectful and said, why'd you do that? Like, I told you not to do that. Can you imagine how much worse he would feel? But no, I didn't even say that, and he was still beating himself up. And I was like, why are you still worrying about that? It's going to be okay. Like, don't even worry. You know, it's this could have happened. Or, you know, I gave him different scenarios of, you know, why he shouldn't be upset and how it's going to be okay. But it was just like, it was huge for me because I was like, whoa, he has like these deep feelings, but men bottle them up in their head and they try to figure them out themselves and then they get past it. But if I hadn't have asked him that, if I had have not asked him, and if I had have belittled him and disrespected him before, he would have that would have gone into his head and he would have felt disrespected by me. And he would feel insecure about his decision making or whatever. And so I encourage you, women, to not do that to your husbands, to not belittle them in those type of ways, to make them feel stupid or to think a decision they made was stupid, or like just anything in that type of way. And there's so many ways you can disrespect your husband. And so I encourage you guys to definitely get this book because throughout the book, throughout the ending chapters, and I can't find one right now. Oh, here it is. The ending chapters, it says like things at the beginning of the chapters, it says, about her, like how husbands can better love her. But towards the end of the chapters, it says how a wife can better love her husband and show him respect. And so I definitely encourage this book because that was just one example of me, like I could have disrespected him. And to tell you the truth, I sometimes disrespect my husband, like it just happens. And I'm still working on it, and I still have to. And when I'm at other people's houses or military wives' houses and I see that kind of stuff, it makes me really, really sad because I understand what that guy is going through. I understand that he's probably feeling like really down that she just belittled him. And if the husband is ignoring his wife, I understand her because I know what it feels like to feel unloved. And there are just things that you can do to help each other have a healthy and happy marriage if you respect him and he loves you. And don't okay, so I have a huge thing with sassing. Like, I am a sassy person. And I have had to grow through that because I don't want to sass my husband. I don't want to be rude to him. I don't want to make him feel like, he's dumb or, whatever I'm making him feel. And by sassing your husband, it's making him feel like he's not doing a good job. You should always, always encourage your husband and let him know that he's doing a good job. Because, husbands don't get enough encouragement by women. We forget a lot of the times, women, that men don't have that men have feelings. We think we have feelings. Our feelings need to be heard, not his, mine first, and we forget about their feelings, and it's really hard on them. My husband and me have had to work through that because at the beginning, it was all about my feelings, my feelings, my feelings, my feelings. And it got to a point where he was like, can I not share my feelings? He was like, I have to bottle them up inside because you're not listening to me. And I still have to work through that because I forget my husband has feelings that need to be heard. And it's just super important for me to listen and to respect his feelings and understand them and everything like that. So there's just so many topics on respect and love because there's always new situations that come and arise. And so I stress this book so much, and if not this book, go to a class on how to respect and love them because more and more I see relationships, especially in the military, where wives get bitter because their husbands are gone and they have to do everything around the house, and then they get back and they treat their husbands with disrespect because they're like, okay, now that you're home, you need to clean, you need to take out the trash, you need to do this, you can't sleep because even though you're tired, I need you to do this and that. Instead of respecting the fact that they are just gone and now they're tired and they need to go to sleep, and you should take out the trash because you're serving your husband the fact that he's just been gone for all these months. And so I just see a lot of bitterness and a lot of disrespect from wives towards their husband, and it leads their husband to not love them, and then it goes the cycle again. Don't love, don't respect. Don't love, disrespect. And it's just a cycle. And so I say all of this because I want marriages to have respect and love in them, because the more and more people I meet that, whether they're not Christian or maybe they are Christian, but they don't know the love and respect, I see their marriage and I'm like, I want you to be happier. I can see your bitterness in the way that you act. I can see the bitterness and unlove that he has because you treat him that way, or vice versa. And so, again, I'm just super passionate about this stuff because I want people to be happy in their marriage and love each other to the fullest that they can. And obviously, I know that me and Connor have we have our issues sometimes, but we always work through them because we know, love and respect. Are we loving each other? Are we respecting each other? What can we do? What classes can we go to better our marriage and everything like that? And that's what I want for y'all. So I know that was a lot, and again, I get so passionate about this because I want y'all to have a happy marriage, especially because they're gone all the time. And when they come back, why do you want to have a marriage that you're bitter at each other, or you joke in a really rude way that leaves y'all annoyed at each other? I want the time that you have together to be we're so blah in love, blah blah blah. There's gonna be problems, obviously, but why do you want to I want 9 out of 10 days that he's home, or however many, whatever, compared to the majority. I want 99% of the days that he's there to be full of love and respect. But that takes both parties. Men you have to respect, or men you have to love, women you have to respect. It takes two. And something that I heard the other day was someone said it's 50-50 relationship. Like, you both give 50. No. You both give 100%. Both of you. Both of you give 100. And if the other person isn't giving 100, you still give 100. Because they'll eventually catch up and say, wow, she's really respecting me. I need to love her. Or vice versa. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want any more marriage topics, leave them down below. There are so many, and so I'm definitely going to do a series because, again, I'm like extremely passionate about marriage. And it's just like crazy. Maybe the Lord led me to talk about marriage. But anyway, so definitely give this video a thumbs up and comment anything you want. Always email me. I get tons of emails and it's so exciting. But again, I hope this wasn't too much and I hope you learned a little bit something. Definitely get the book if you have the chance. Be sure to subscribe to my channel as always, and I will see y'all in my next video.